I'm getting ready to go down the highway. I'm going to talk about something important to help you understand what this place really is, and it's called dispensations. If you're new to that, then if you're new to dispensations, it's going to change your world. If you really want to know the truth, you have to look at reality from a dispensational perspective. And so that's what we're going to talk about for a minute. And I might do 2 or 3 videos and then link the videos to AI and let AI summarize them, into a composite video. And the reason I'm using the AI now is for my website. I'm going to rearrange everything to put it on my websites and put it on the front page with videos and kind of giving a summary of what they're going to hear. It's really not complicated once you take all the puzzle pieces and put it together in a whole. Once you see the whole, it's kind of like building a house. Once you understand how the roofing, the sheetrock, 2x4s, the floor joists, the ceiling joists, the plumbing, once you see how it all fits together, the vent pipes, the electrical, everything fits together, then it all makes sense, why they put that stud there, why they put that there, why they did the window there. There's code to build a house, and there's also code to rightly divide the word of truth. So without dispensations, you'll be in the wrong. You'll not be able to understand the Bible at all really clearly. And that's where people get into cults and isms and all that. Because if you understand dispensations, you can understand the age of grace, the age of law, the tribulation period, the 70th week of Daniel, the millennium, the new heaven and new earth. God is revealing new concepts in every dispensation. And actually the dispensations line up with your growth, with your spiritual growth and your physical growth, actually. Because when you're at your mama's house or your daddy's house, you're under their law, right? But they show you a little bit of grace. But then when you leave and you go to the job, you're under their law. You have to punch that clock 40 hours. Or if it's your own job, if you're running your own business, you work more with your own business than you do on a job. But it don't feel like work because you want to do it, You're in control of it. But you still have to follow the rules of the state, the IRS, all those rules, And so you've got the age of innocence. God worked different in that age. The age of conscience, the age of law, the age of grace, the tribulation period, which is the 70th week of Daniel. God's going to work different in the millennium. In every age, he's doing something different, but he's still building upon what was already done. Jesus fulfilled the law and the prophets, right? So there's the law and the prophets. That's an age, and the word dispensation just means age. When Cain killed Abel, God protected Cain from being killed. Put a mark on his forehead, probably. I think that's where God caused him to. I believe the mark of Cain is he was given a growth hormone experience where he became a big dude. It could be something else. Who knows? But anyway, I think that's where the giants came from. Cain. I think God put a growth hormone on Cain and as he became a giant, you know. I could be wrong on that. I'm not dogmatic on that at all, but I am dogmatic on dispensations. And if you're not dogmatic on anything, then you're standing in sand, sinking sand. You want concrete to stand on, or a solid foundation, or a rock or something, because you need some solid, firm foundation, and dispensations will help you get to that point. If you don't understand the difference between law and grace, then I can't help you really until you get that part down. You can't understand walking in the Spirit until you understand law and grace. It's like building a house. Let's say you work with a contractor and you do the framing for 2 or 3 years. Then you go work for an electrician for 2 or 3 years. You wire the house. Then you go work for a plumber for 2 or 3 years. Then you do a roof. You work with a roofer for 2 or 3 years. Then you work with a guy who installs windows. Then you work with a heat and air guy for 2 or 3 years. And I've done this. I actually have worked with electricians, with heating and air guys, roofers, painters, replacement windows. I didn't necessarily work with a plumber, but in maintenance, I've done plumbing my whole life pretty much. For 30 years, I've done plumbing and changing toilets and changing fixtures, and you know. So I know how the plumbing works. I learned it on my own. Then your door, setting the door, screen door, yard work, landscaping. There's a lot to it. And that's why I tell people, I especially tell these Delilahs out here, I tell them, if you find you a hard-working man, you better stay with him, because you think you know what you're doing, but you don't. Because because I've talked to women, they live by themselves, and then they have to call a plumber or an electrician or something, and they get hoodooed. They get hoodooed. Something that costs $5 to fix, or $2 even, they'll be charged $200, and it was only 50 cents. A little bracket to hold something up. You could fix it for $2, and they get charged $200 or $300. My point is, just like these cars, working on these cars, working on a house, working on anything. It's a man's world. I'm sorry, but that's just the way God made it. And if there's a woman out there that thinks she can survive, wait till the bottom drops out. We'll see. She ends up having 2 or 3 guys, and she ends up destroying her own soul, you know. So they take off, think they're going to find somebody better or something else, and you know, it don't work out like that. It never works out. The best thing to do is to submit to authority. Yeah, there's some people that take a while to grow and become aware, self-aware, and but if the unbeliever depart, let them depart. Our brother or sister is no longer in the bondage in such cases. So if somebody takes off, let them go. Don't chase them. Don't cry. Don't laugh. Don't get revenge. Let them do their thing. Because you're not responsible for somebody else. You can't save somebody else. It was never about you anyway. It was about them. If they have bad character, it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them. If somebody has bad character, it's not you, it's them. And they might try to pin it on you and project it onto you, but you already know. It don't matter what other people think, because you already know. It's between you and God. You answer to God. You don't answer to people. You answer to God. And if the whole world comes against you and makes up lies, you already know the truth. But you know how narcissists are. They have to project it on. They have to set you up as the bad guy because they're not doing anything. In other words, they're doing it all, but they want everybody to think they're not doing it, like they're innocent. And if you go before a court of law, the judge, that takes two to tango. Here's what gets me is people believe only one side, and it takes two to tango. That tells you most people cannot be a judge because they can't even judge the smallest matters, without having some kind of, like you got, let's say this person you like, this person you don't. The person you like did that person wrong. They never did you wrong, but instead of having an equal balance here, well, you did wrong. I might be your friend, but this person gets you did, as a judge, you harmed them, they get paid. And David was good like that. And also Solomon. Not being a respecter of persons. Most people can never do that. Most people can never be a judge, because you've got to judge rightly from what's right. Not because you know that person or like that person or believe that person. The evidence shows this person was done wrong by the person you think was the greatest thing ever. And I've seen it. And it's not fair because you're over here, doing your duty and they're over here attacking you. That's something they created and twisting reality. It's wild. The biggest thing you learn when a narcissist tries to provoke you to make you respond and you look crazy because they're pushing your buttons. It makes you look crazy when they're the crazy ones. And that happens a lot. So if you can do the gray rock method and step out of it, you can actually step out of it and see what they're doing, see the game, the manipulation that they're playing, step out of the game and don't play the game. And then they'll have to go find somebody else to play the game with, because if they're doing it to you, they'll do it to the next person. The way they treat others is the way they treat you, and the way they treat you is the way they treat others. Because they can't change their character. Can a leopard change its spots? Can a zebra change its stripes? Nah. So they leave your situation, they go somewhere else, the same game. They can't change. They have no power to change. They don't have the Holy Spirit. Because if they're liars, they would be convicted before it got out of hand. So they move on to the next one. And if they're a liar with you, they're going to be a liar with the next one. If they're a narcissist with you, they'll be a narcissist. And they'll just keep repeating until they eventually get broken and fall down on their face and cry out to God. But most of them think they're God. The church-going person, not Christian, but the church-going person who's a narcissist, they think they never sin. And you know how that works out. You know how that works out.